When you started on Top Gear, there was no expectation. Suddenly, the expectation was huge. How difficult was that to deal with?
Not difficult. I'll tell you why it wasn't difficult, because we were all action stations. We had so little time that everybody kind of went to their jobs. So I'm like, I've got to build a new office and a new team, and we've got to, and then we have our brainstorm, we get our films together. I've got to oversee the getting of those films done. So my brain is full on. And you can, at that point, go to somebody like Jeremy and go, we're going to need a big opening. And that's the sort of Jeremy job where Jeremy goes, leave that with me, you know.
And what's his process then for working out what that opening could look like? Does he want quiet time? Does he write stuff down? Pepper you with thoughts? What's that message?
Yeah, he goes away, and he actually does. When he's doing his columns, he'll go for a walk around the garden, look at I remember he did one of his, there was a Chrysler Crossfire, I think, that terrible coupe. And he was like writing a road test about that, and he went for a walk in the garden. He saw one of his dogs having a shit, and he was like, that's what the back of that car looks like, a dog having a dump, and then he's back inside. But he's had to have his walk around the garden. But he goes quiet, yeah. And so that when he came to the pub with all the Top Gear stuff back in 2001, that was days of that, of him scribbling and stopping and scribbling, and then stress testing and crossing out.
And had you guys not been jaded from the beginning with these awful conversations with lawyers about what was and wasn't allowed?
No, because they were too funny. They were too funny. Like, there was a couple that were brilliant. I mean, they peaked, because it is all about detail. God's in the detail. Some of it you got when they would go, okay, you can have an audience in your £5 million tent, but they can't be in the round. You can't be in the round like you were on, because that's a format point that the BBC will come after you. So that you've got to be at one side, etc. So you go, I get that. Jeremy can't handwrite the lap times. So they have to come up electronically because you can't do that again. Get it. But then it starts to get more mental, because lawyers get into, I've thought of something you haven't have mode. And this one lawyer went, I've got a point to make here that James, I notice on the Top Gear shows, says, oh, cock, quite a lot. And we're like, yeah, that's sort of, he just says, James says, oh, cock, quite a lot when things go wrong. And he went, is that a format point? Is that something that belongs to Top? And James is like,
oh my goodness.
No, look, if I stub my toe at home, I go, oh, cock. Like, it's just like, I brought it with me.
Would you say it in real life?
And they go, okay, well, let that one slide, but no note on that one. And then our favourite, which we were just flabbergasted, this guy went, I noticed when you're on your long tours of exotic locations, when your road trips with your cars, you get to an amazing location, you stop, you get out of your cars, you admire that location. And we're like, you mean like look at the view? And he's like, yeah. I'm wondering if that's a format point. And we're like, I'm sorry, no, looking at the view is now something we can only do on. And he went, well, it is a noticeable thing. So we said, like, all right, so if we're in Namibia, sunset, Skeleton Coast, do you want us to go, well, that looks shit. You know, what do you want us to do? Yeah. So the comedy of that meant that we were good with the lawyer thing, because eventually we won what we won, and we won enough. And then back to Jeremy, the opening. So he'd squirrel off, like with our films, with our big specials, you either start with the location or an idea or the cars. You start with one of those three. He started with his opening with that song, I Can See Clearly Now. And he built everything narratively around that. He was like, through his, phone, go past all the prog rock that he's got on it, and he gets to I Can See Clearly, and he goes, that's the one. And he wanted that live Hot House Flowers version. And then he builds everything from there. So he came in and he had it all laid out there. He leaves the BBC, he's go, we've got to tell a story, fly to America, because America is like, Amazon have signed us. And then at that point we go, yeah, but hang on, we can't say we've become an American show. And he's like, no, I know that. So that whole opening in the desert, we get hundreds of cars, but they're deliberately all cars and no cars. It's like, it's a mishmash. It's very international. It's very global. And the Hothouse Flowers, their Irish band on stage. So, and the desert is just a neutral territory where you can make all that work. But we weren't saying hello America. We were saying, yeah, we're back with a bang. 100% we were saying that. We were saying we'll be here, there, and everywhere. This desert could be where we do a show. And then we built the kind of just the beats, story beats up as the song went to, so that it was logical that when they pull up, the Hothouse Flowers are on the stage, so we close that circle. And I was like, it's too much. But then again, I'm very glass half empty, and I'm not the one who would smash the vase. And I was like, it feels a bit much to me, but he was right, because everyone actually just enjoyed it. And it didn't say, we are now an American show. Because, I mean, Jesus, when they get out of the car, guts, you know, they've not had their teeth whined. They've not had Botox. You know? They're not, it's like they're completely what they were.
But what I liked about the opener was that I felt like one of those people. I was like a fan of Top Gear. And when I watched that opener, I thought, oh, now we're all here.
Now we're all here. Yeah.
We've all followed across here. And I am one of those, I wasn't obviously, but I'm one of those people driving across the desert. Here we all are. We've come to our new home to watch this stuff.
It was all, don't worry, we've been away, but we're all back now and all's good. It was that vibe that we were trying to do. So that was that. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it as much as Top Gear, the Grand Tour?
Doing the Grand Tour? No, I don't think I did, because with Top Gear, we've got all that voyage of discovery. Even as stressful as it was, you're constantly surprising yourself going, shit, a guest has pulled out, and now we've got to get Damon Hill in, and that kickstarts Formula One stars in a car. Shit, we've made a film that's too big, and now we are doing specials, and we never planned it. Shit, a car has broken down, and now we've got cheap cars. You're constantly amazing yourself with what comes your way. Big things, small things, Michael Gambon going, I want to come on your show, but he'll never go on Parky's show, which is the home for a sort of Knight of the Realm, you know. So all that wonderful discovery is gone. By the time we start the Grand Tour, we've got all our weapons in our armory of different types of shows we'll make. We're a professional show. We're going to make good shows as best we can. And we've lost also Sunday night, the terrestrial thing. It's streaming is what it is. We're all in it now. We've all bought it like nothing else ever existed. But that thing, 10 o'clock, you must have had it with, you know, your TV stuff. 8 o'clock Sunday night, we knew at 10 to 8, families across the country were saying to kids, get your books ready for school, or no Top Gear, you know, and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, my dad still says to me, what time's High Performance on air? And I have to explain to him, like, Dad, it's kind of like
whenever you want it. Whenever you want.
But what you miss as the creator is the moment that feeds your ego, where you sit, you know. Yes. I certainly felt when I was doing F1, the country would come to a standstill and watch what you were creating.
Watch what you're creating.
Lovely feeling.
We're all meeting here at this time.
Did you and the guys miss that?
Yeah, massively. We missed the whole terrestrial setup of, like, it's Sunday night. You know, and you could just, like, you know, I'd talk to Jeremy and he'd be like, hang on, so Indiana Jones is on before us. Cracking. Bit of Top Gear, then bed. We're in for a good night tonight. You could put your mind on what the country might be thinking or doing. And that was lovely because, and then next Wednesday, if we'd done a shit show, we could go, sorry about last week's show.
On this podcast, we often talk about the smart decisions that shape your life or your career. But when it comes to our health, too many choices are still based on guesswork. Stride One is designed to change that. It's not just another health test. It's the type of service you'd expect from an elite longevity clinic. The home testing kit analyzes your DNA, blood, and gut microbiome, covering over 500 biomarkers to give you a complete picture of your health. You get science-backed guidance like how your gut health affects your energy or whether you need more B vitamins or magnesium. As well as that, you'll get quarterly consultations with a dedicated Stride expert to help you act on your results. Stride One even measures your biological age with repeat testing every 6 months so you can track your progress and see what's really working. So if you want to feel, think, and perform better today and invest in your future health, Stride is the solution for you. To find out more and unlock a special offer, just go to getstride.com/RWIH. That's getstride.com/RWIH.
Because it was, well, one, we were capable of apologising, but it was like we were all part of people's lives, you know.
And actually, it was different with the Grand Tour. I remember with the Madagascar film, which didn't go down very well on
It's a bit rubbish, that.
Grand Tour.
Yeah.
But there was no opportunity then
overblown,
to...
that.
You
An opportunity to go.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't go, guys, sorry about that one.
And why do you think, after all those years, that still things like that would happen? Because people would think at that point, you and the team are bulletproof. You know how to make good telly.
No, because we've got this thing where, because we've got to create our material all the time, like I say, because we're not, a show that refreshes itself with new contestants. We're still having to do new stuff. Now, it was a good point, that one, because we do 36 Grand Tours, the classic 12 episodes a year. We do 3 years of that. That's our initial contract. We think at that point we're done, and we're getting worried that we won't be able to sustain anyway. And then Amazon go, do you want to do another 2 years, another 24 shows? And we're like, no, we can't do it. And what we eventually agree on is we'll just do specials, because we're like, we'll keep the material fresh. They keep their Grand Tour, which is a brand that's now thriving, and we'll just do 2 big films a year. So we sat down quite quickly, because we had to get one in, and we brainstormed too quickly 4 films. So we had Seaman with the boats, and then we went Madagascar, and we just didn't give it the quality control. We knew that the road was epically bad, and we knew that Reunion was over there, and we could do A Tale of Two Islands. But we just didn't do the rest of it, and it got boring to watch. And the worst thing was the fucking pirate conceit. Like, where's that going? That's never going to go anywhere, but we kept going with it. So, but it was good for us because it pulled us up.
Yeah.
We were like, right, none of that anymore. And we came back with Scandi Flick, so got our mojo back, but it was a good kick up the arse that we needed. And then when we did when we stopped doing, we were going to stop altogether after those 36 shows. And then Amazon did that thing of, okay, just make the specials and we'll give each of you your own solo project. So it's like Deep Purple, where they're giving the keyboard player and everybody a solo album, just so that the main band will sign again. So they said, what do you all want to do? And Jeremy went, I fancy life on my farm. Just looking at it. And Amazon were like, great. Yeah. And their faces were, oh, fuck.
Did they not fancy it, really?
No. A man on his farm. Like, just the thought of it, they thought it was going to be something bigger and more exotic and all that. So, I mean, we can all laugh about it now because nobody does know anything. So it's not like we can take the high ground. None of us know anything. But I got a few calls from Amazon execs going, can you talk him out of that one?
What were they worried about?
That it'd be boring.
Yeah, but it is boring. That's why it's unbelievable.
I know.
That's why it's the greatest television show of this century, because it's boring.
So I rang him. I went, are you feeling those knives in your back? And he went, why? And I was like, people are like, I was like, if I had a quid for everybody trying to talk you out of this. And he went, I do not blame them. I do not blame them for 1 second because I'm shitting myself about this. He said, we'll give it a go and I'll give it my best shot. And he's like, what's your worry? I said, I'm worried it'd be boring. He went, me too. But what we didn't see coming was Gerald, Lisa, Charlie, Caleb, Alan the Builder.
Where did you find Gerald?
Gerald's always worked there.
Honestly?
Always worked there. Nobody was auditioned. And that is lightning in a bottle that we thought we'll never get that back again in our lives.
Yeah.
Lightning in a bottle, there's nothing we can do in this room in terms of trying to give people guidance or advice. It just comes and all you can do is grab it. But we had it with Top Gear. That was a Grand Tour professional show. And then we got lightning in a bottle again with The Farm because that cast was not a cast. It was the people there. Charlie has always been his land agent.
Are you more proud of Top Gear or of The Farm?
I've got more affection for The Farm because I know Top Gear was an incredible thing, but I've got more affection for The Farm because it was a runt, and then it's like quietly just made itself amazing. I only edit it, I don't produce it. So I'm in my happiest place. And I think in the edit we've done, you know, Top Gear films and Grand Tour films, they are on train tracks to a degree. We do a lot in the edit, but The Farm, you just get a massive bag of rushes. You know, we've got cows doing this, goats doing that.
For those that don't know, rushes is just all the tapes.
All the tapes,
and you have
all
to
the
turn
everything.
it into television.
And because Jeremy, when he steps out of his front door, is at work, they shoot a lot. And they shoot what takes their fancy. And then we have storylines, sure. But it's like we get a big bag of rushes and then we shape it.
So is it still like, let's say when Jeremy comes up with that plan to make the paint machine to do the line in the field, or when he put the burglar smoke in the
those are little things that he
those
comes
are
across.
produced. Are those produced moments though that will add a bit of spice?
A lot of them will be him
because
because he's given his research sort of abilities. He's going through Farmers Weekly. He's looking at stuff on sale.
Yeah.
And then with his brain, he'll go, that's a bit of a Top Gear brain.
So,
he'll go, hang
right.
on, loads of security stuff here.
We could make some good telly out of
We'll
this.
make Gerald head of security. And they're always going to be 4-minute moments.
Yeah.
You know, they're never the thread. They're just little baubles. The thread will be him learning to get ready for the harvest and so on. But security and then opening the restaurant, they become the big things.
What happens when he's a good farmer though? Because the magic here is that he's a bad farmer and he has experts all around him.
Well, we've got to keep going as long as we can, whereby, like this series we just shot now that we're putting together 5, you know, we're very careful that there are certain things he's still crap at, like he can't hitch the trailer up. So that's genuine.
Yeah.
But if he could hitch the trailer up, we wouldn't go, can you pretend not to? We'd just leave it. And when he's actually now in the grain cart harvesting, he's not dropping everything as much anymore. He can reverse it in. He's not clanging into everything. So we just leave those ones be now.
The audience will see it if it's contrived.
And then he'll find another thing that he's crap at that he's got to learn or not understand.
Yeah.
So, and this series, they kind of, I mean, in a press release, it'll look terrible because it's like the farm he wants to go high tech. Now that is a terrible press release. But it does give us amazing telly because him and Caleb go and visit a farm in Brussels with really high-tech stuff. But it means Caleb's got to go abroad for the first time. And that drive down to the Channel Tunnel and through the Channel Tunnel with Caleb is just gold dust. That it's just perfection, you know.
Well, look, Andy, thank you so much for your time.
Hey, thank
As
you.
you've probably noticed, as a bit of a TV guy, I've been very excited to have this conversation. Actually, for
I
a
can
number of
feel it.
years, I just picking your brains.
Fascinating because we're proper talking into the weeds of things, and it's lovely. It
You
really
enjoy it?
is. Yeah, it is. Because I get asked a lot about, did you not get on with the BBC, or what were the worst moments? And we didn't do that chat, you know, because it never was like that. So it was fantastic and that I know that, and I'm hearing about yours, and we can compare, and it's all going somewhere useful, hopefully.
I think so.
So thanks.
And thanks for your vulnerability as well, you know, because I think that too often when people are successful, they want the world just to see one side of that because it's good for their brand. But you've been very honest about
Luckily, we don't have that.
everything that's gone on, insecurities and fears and the departure from the BBC. And I think you should be really proud of The Farm because actually Top Gear made sense on paper and on television. The Farm does not make sense on paper.
No.
But makes perfect sense on
television.
And actually, you've managed to create a national moment in a period where national moments on television are disappearing at a rate of knots.
And it's him again with, I know we all play our part, but it's him again going, I reckon my farm's got legs. And everyone else going, I can't see it. But it has. But yeah, we got thrown a bone by fate. You have Charlie, you have Gerald, you have Lisa. And all of them just don't seem to care about cameras being there.